So quite a bit's happened since the last time you were here. Number one, put a single centre console in there for this, the one for the single seats. So we put the 2 single seats in, that went in there. Number two, we actually did take the top bulkhead out. Well, that's all this sort of stuff just down here. Dying of man flu, so being worn. And then today, we're going to actually be putting a new floor in. Why? Well, number one, we've still got all these holes from the tie down points that we want to get covered and filled in. And two, we want to fill that whole area there for the footwell. We've kind of done this the lazy way. So we measured from the furthest point, which is like down here, right the way up to that corner. So the full length across. Then we went to B&Q, got an 8x4 sheet, and they cut it for us. We've then got this bottom piece here, which we didn't actually have enough wood left over from an 8x4 sheet. So we're going to probably end up having to stick 2 pieces in here. But again, we measured from the cross point there right the way to the edge here, because we have got a gap here and we don't want that. We've got this piece over here, which we're actually going to be boxing up to about there and then going around that. That's the centre seat belt. If we unplug that, it's going to throw an airbag light on the dashboard. So we're going to keep that in place and just box around it. Sounds fairly straightforward and simple until you realise we've got a 1980s jigsaw to try and do it in. That, and have I mentioned I'm dying. Let's get this old flooring out so that we can use it as a template for the new flooring. Now this floor goes underneath these side panels, so we kind of had to get these off as well. There we got our marker, and it's just a case of yeet, yeet. We've got to measure where this is going to go. So we're going to go from the edge of where it was over to there. In all fairness, this is going quite well. Let's see if it fits when we actually put it in. Well, I got carried away and I forgot to film the actual cutting, but Danielle's back. There she is. Ha! Moment of truth. Let's see if it fits. Just a tiny little bit too tight over that corner there. Take 2. It actually worked. Quite surprised with myself. That side's done. Just got the back piece to do, you know. This piece down here. And that fits absolutely perfect. But it's starting to rain, so everything had to come back in the side of the van. We're going to work on these top corner pieces now. There's one goes up there, one goes up there. We put a piece of cardboard just there and a pencil. We draw around it, made the right shape, fit that one there. Now, in theory, if we just get that piece down, flip it around, it should fit just up there. So I'm just going to get that piece off and trace around it and then just sort of drop it up there. Actually, it might be best if I take this off first and then spin it around and try and see if it'll fit up in. Oh god, I don't know if it'll fit. Will it fit in that way if I squeeze it in? This is going to be fun. There's only a couple of little differences. It's got that little difference there, and I've drawn a line over that little difference there. So I'm just going to mark it out, cut the same shape, and then trim those little bits out, and it should fit. But while I was busy on that bit, she actually went out shopping and got the flooring. Not just the flooring though, that's the flooring we've got for the actual inside of the camper van itself. And then she's got this stuff here. What we're thinking for that is to cover that, and that. Obviously, that piece we're going to change it a bit to go all the way down this bit here as well. That's where the wiper mechanism would go on the Tornio. So let's see if this fits. So we've got this one over here, which goes that way in. Now it goes that piece in first, and then it pushes in, bending the headline in ever so slightly. Why is it not fitting now? It should fit perfectly fine. There we go. That one goes up there. This side's going to be for the solar panel charge controller, which will be one of the next videos. And where's the other piece that I've just dropped? Just here. Let's see if this one will fit that way. Oh, this is going to be a... Oh, looking good. There we go. Now we don't have to worry about that gap across the top. That's going to be covered by the ceiling when the ceiling goes up. But for these back panels up here, we want to be able to fill all this in. So we just make cardboard cutouts of what we think it would be, and take this off, stick this to this, draw around it on a piece of wood, and in theory that should be the right size. So a few days later, and we've decided against doing the little panels just on the edge of the little ones we were on about, and we've changed it up for a full piece that goes all the way across. That's just going to be a lot more secure, a lot more stable. We've got a little bit of trimming left to do on that. That's not an issue. But the back doors, they're looking great. Check them out. Nice full solid piece all the way down. We're actually going to cover this in a vinyl and then all the way around the edge, like a thick piece of rope. It's going to look amazing. There's the other side as well. But before we even consider a unit that's going to go there, the bed piece over there, the bed piece all the way down there, all the overhead storage and the ceiling, it's time to get the floor in. What do you think of this floor? This is the one that Danielle picked. We're going to lay it down like that, and we've got the spray glue, this stuff here, just to stick it down with. Oh wow, chuffed. It's really starting to come together. Home is not an object, it's an emotion. This is starting to feel like a home. Possibly one of the most satisfying things we've done to date. It's literally a case of just lay it down on the floor, get a sharp blade and run it round all the edges, peel it back, drop some spray glue, that stuff there, on both surfaces, leave it to go tacky for a while, a good 5 minutes it says on there, and then just lay it down and it's done. Now we don't need to worry about the edges being nice and clean because they're going to be covered with strip edging anyway. I can't get over how good this has actually turned out. It just looks amazing. But while we're letting the floor secure properly through the glue, we're going to work on these back panels on the actual door. We're going to be using the same vinyl off the flooring just because it'll flow nicer. We get those wooden boards off, trace around them, stick some spray glue on them and the actual vinyl, stick some weights on there, leave it for around about 25 minutes, and the glue's set. We take them off, run a blade around the wood so that it's a nice clean finish on the edges, and we secure them back onto the doors. She's really starting to love this surrounding that we're doing. Now before we fit the solar bits and bobs into this, which is one of the next big steps, we need to have a housing area for the battery. So that's going to be going in the head part of the bed section. So we need to get that built next. But to get that built and get that the right height for the actual bed, how high we want the bed, we're having to put in the units. We're just making these. Top tip, IKEA had this sort of wood just laying out. It was all in a big crate, and it's free to take it if you want. So it must be all their seconds and stuff. So we went ham with that one. But with the unit, that's all we've done, just laid it down for now. We've got a gap here for like the water bottles and stuff like that. Underneath there, which we've got a little sort of unit just underneath there. We've put the back piece on so you can see that from further around here. Let's have a look at, so it comes out just ever so slightly so we can stick some electrics and stuff on that. And then we got that, just a buffet. Just sat that in there to get the right height, sat down on it, measured it and stuff. So now we have to build the headboard area, which goes all the way down there. That's where our heads are going to be when we're actually in the bed. To build that, then we can situate the battery in there and get the solar fit. You can see it a little bit better now. So we've got our little cut unit thing there, which we're still going to build the top of, but this is the whole plan. We needed to build this box. Now this is obviously, you can see the line, we're going to have that cut down the middle. That's going to be an open top storage sort of area, and that's what we've got. So inside there we should, in theory, be able to fit the battery. Let's have a go. This is a heavy old girl. Oh, please fit, please fit, please fit, please fit. Boom. Yes, we need to move that screw out the way. But that battery's going to fit in there. The charge controller is going to be up there. So now we're ready for the solar. You might notice this big dip just here. That's just solely because we've got a really thick foam, memory foam thing coming to sit on top of there. You can visualise it a little bit better now. So that's the head part of the bed. And I have a folding bed to come out here that will pull out to here, and that'll make the full bed in the back of this little van. That gives you the better idea. Look, see, wide angle lens. Ooh. So what we got, obviously work uniform and work bag. We're going to work soon, hiking coat and hiking boots because we've been for a hike. But that's the top end of the bed, and this is the side part of the bed. This is an IKEA bed frame. Remember I said we get the free IKEA wood? That come with that. We just had to trim it in half and shrink it to the right size, but it comes out and boom, full bed. I suppose I really should tell you how I made that. It's just a frame. That's all it is. It's just a little frame, all bolted together and stuff like that. And then this piece is just the one going all the way across and down. The ones that are attached to this are just screwed in there, but not screwed in over there. As you can tell, we've got screw holes. That's because I messed up when I built it. But there you go. It can just tip up like that. But when the foam's on, so we'll have one piece of foam going across and then a piece of foam going up. That's going to be like the backrest. And then when it's pulled out, the backrest will go in that piece just there. While we're gluing a new vinyl fascia onto those top panels just there, check out these brackets here that we're going to fit. So we want little doors and like ledges and stuff, like shelves on the back doors. These are going to be absolutely perfect, B&Q specials. And they've got this little thing up here that says push. So when it's up against the wall, you push it, in theory, there you go, push it and lift it up, and folds down to nothing. So we can have little folding tables on the back doors. So you can just imagine a piece of wood just sat on there. Now, there's been no spirit level or anything, it's just gone by eye. So chances are when I park the van on a slope, this table is going to be on a slope. But that's the excuse I'll use when she says it's not level. I'll say, no, we just parked on a slope. Perfect. Now, doesn't that look snazzy? Got this sort of thing on the top, insulated behind it. This piece over here, again, insulated behind it. Granted, I've used my normal screws, but I've also put a couple of these little blocks just to help secure it, stop some of the rattle, and it really does work. And we've got this on it as well.